Hello everybody, I hope I'm in frame. With this camera I can't tell because the viewfinder is in the back and I can't see. I could use a phone and hook it up to that maybe, but right now that's a lot more involved than I want to do right now. So what I'm doing, I'm testing out some cameras and some different microphones. This is a Nikon B500. I've got it, all these cameras will be running the same for the video. It's going to be 1080p, 30 frames per second. So right now you're hearing the sound directly from the camera. Now, I just turned on this voice recorder. This is what I usually use. I just use it for the sound and then sync it to the track. So the sound's a lot better. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the cicadas are out now. Those come out every 17 years, and it happens to be they're out now, and they're usually pretty loud. Today they don't seem as loud as they did the last couple of days. So this is the Nikon B500, now with this for voice track. So I want to compare that, and let's switch to another camera. Okay, so now you have the GoPro Hero 5 Black. Now you're listening to sound directly from the camera. And I'm out here on an old farm where I grew up. I'll give a little more of that story later. So I'm going to test a couple of different mics with this. Okay, so now I'm using the voice recorder for sound, which should sound the same as the other camera, so shouldn't be a lot of difference there. And what I'm going to do, I have a different microphone set up I'm going to try on here, but I got to shut down and swap some things over. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm running with what you call boom or shotgun mic on the Hero 5 Black. See how that sounds. I noticed lately I've been having a little trouble out of that. It's been staticky and stuff, so I don't know if that's a problem now. So we will find out. I'm not going to go into much of a story till I know how everything's working. So I'm going to swap mics again. Okay, so now I am trying the Neewer CM28, I believe is the model number of this. This is the microphone I've been really wanting to test out because I've had wireless mic systems before that didn't work worth a crap. I had a Cinco, and it's always breaking up. Even like I'm arm's length from all these cameras, even that close, supposed to be line of sight, and still had problems with it. Also caused interference with my drone because they work on 2.4 gigahertz. These work on 2.4 gigahertz as well. But everybody claims these are a lot better microphones, so I want to try these out. We'll go into that more when I do my last camera. So this is the Hero 5 Black with the wireless Neewer mic system. So let's swap to a different camera. Okay, so now you're hearing the sound straight out of the Hero 12 Black. And the video I've got set 1080p, 30 frames per second, just like all the other cameras. And I'm about an arm's length away from the camera. And the cool thing I like about this one is the screen. I can actually see what the framing is and get myself in frame correctly. So I like that. So I'm going to swap over to the Neewer. I'm not going to mess with the other one right now. Well, maybe I will real quick. Okay, so now you're hearing the Hero 12 Black with the boom mic, shotgun mic, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of low right now because it don't have a shoe to fit it on up there, and when I do, the windsock gets in the way. I do have a windsock on it, or dead cat, as I do all of these microphones. So I will swap over to the Neewer now and see how that sounds in this camera. Okay, you should be hearing the wireless microphone there now in that camera in the Hero 12 Black, and I don't think the sound from one camera should make much of a difference. Well, we'll find out in this test. I've always wondered that. And I don't know if we're picking up the police scanner or not, but I don't think it's interfering. And see, I'm not using noise cancellation on any of these, so we'll see how the cicadas sound in the background. So this is the Hero 12 black with the Neewer, and we're going to swap to the last camera, and that's going to be a little bit more involved test. Okay, so now this is the Nikon P950. Sometimes I get confused and say Canon, so if I said that with the B500, it's a Nikon, not a Canon, so just in case. So right now you're getting sound straight out of the camera. So real quick, I'll swap over to the boom mic, give that a try with this camera, because might as well, right? Okay, so now you're listening to the boom mic, whatever you want to call it, shotgun mic. I'll show it here in a minute. So see what the sound like that is. Maybe if there's an issue with the microphone where it's getting static, it'll show up here and I'll know whether it was the adapter for the camera, because you got to have one of those for the GoPro, or the mic. So now I'm going to swap over to the Neewer and try that with it. So now we're on the Neewer mic here, or wireless mic we'll just call it. Just test this out, see how it works. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more testing of this microphone system, because they're line of sight. If you turn your back, a lot of times you have sound not working, sound cut out, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to walk with my back to the camera. I'm going back to that fence back there. That's as far as you really need to go. I don't need to go that far, but I just want to test out the microphone. So I'll talk on the way there and see when and if the sound cuts out on the microphone. So hit it out now. So like I said, just testing the microphone, taking a walk, see when the sound cuts out. I know it probably will, because it is line of sight. I've got my back to the camera, and the receiver and the transmitter cannot see each other. So I expect to be dropping out here any second if I haven't already. Get past this tree here, all this stuff, and watching for snakes. I am definitely scared of snakes. There's a lot of copperheads in this area. So I'm almost to the fence. I'm within a few feet. I don't know if the camera's seeing me back here or not. So now I'll turn around. So now hopefully you're hearing me. I don't know how much it cut out between here and there, but my test the other day, it worked pretty good. I've tested these one time this way. So I'm going to start heading back to the camera and talking, and maybe tell a little story here, and hopefully you can hear it all. Now, like I said, I grew up in these hills. This was my home place where I grew up as a child. And my brother's 7 years older than me, so he didn't want me hanging around with him. I was my only brother, so I was kind of like basically an only child. So I spent a lot of time up in these woods running around and stuff. And back there at the edge of those trees, tree line way back there, you come off Rattlesnake Knob. We own that property back there. And I was coming down. I was 11 years old and I had a .22 rifle with me, and I was looking for something to shoot. Well, I get to the creek at the bottom of the hill there, and I thought I seen something move in the water in the creek. So I'm bending down looking around, and I feel something hit my pants leg 3 times. And I look down and I'm standing on top of a copperhead snake. Now it's never broke, it never hit the skin or anything, but it hit my pants leg 3 times, and it felt like somebody slapping you on the side of the leg. That scared me very bad. And since then I have been deathly afraid of snakes. So I watch for snakes here all the time, because we've killed a lot of copperhead snakes here. There's a lot of here. And the hill that we own back here is called the Rattlesnake Knob. Now, I've never seen a rattlesnake up there, but I have seen a lot of copperhead snakes. And we have black snakes and green snakes around when I was a kid, but water moccasins, cottonmouth water moccasins. But copperheads I'm definitely afraid of. So that's my little story about that. Now, I hope the sound is working here. Hope everything's right and no flub ups in it. So I can get a good test out of all these cameras and get this uploaded. Because I done this 2 days in a row. The first day I had a camera problem. And then yesterday when I did it, or day before yesterday might have been, I had all 4 cameras running at once, trying to talk to all 4 cameras at once, and it was a nightmare trying to edit that video. I got it mostly edited, and I just said, I'm done. I'm just going to redo this with each camera individually, so I have to deal with less tracks, because I had 4 camera tracks and 2 or 3 sound tracks to deal with. So hopefully this test will work out better. Now, when I get back to the Philippines, see how things work out there. I'm here in America for my vacation. Be here for a couple of months and then head back to the Philippines. So I'm going to grab the drone real quick and launch it. Okay, camera settings. Okay. This usually runs 4K, but since all these cameras and this video is going to be 1080p, I'm just going to set this to 1080p as well, so everything's equal. I don't like running auto settings, but I think I'm going to have to just for this test, because of different lighting. There, it's just a test, so I'm going to run auto mode for the camera settings. I'm about 175, let's go up 200 feet, because I'm going to have to go higher when I get up to Rattlesnake Knob anyway. Okay, there's Rattlesnake Knob right there. So let's head up there. And I'm going to have to go up a little bit because that knob's 800 feet high, I do believe. There, it should be at the top. So I'm going to look down and see if I can see the rocks, because the top of the knob is covered in rock. Looks like might be one there. Yeah, I can zoom in and have a look here. Down tree. Whoa, I don't want to go down, I want to go backwards a little bit here. I just want to check this out a little bit, see if we can see the rocks up there. Unzoom. No, I already was unzoomed. Okay. So we own this property back here, so anybody complains, they'll have to come to to me to complain about it. A little windy up there. Trees are swaying a little bit. We go to the back side of it. What is that? Something? Oh, just trees. Okay, you're not going to see much with the canopy of the trees. So I'm just going to swing back this way. So this is where I grew up as a kid. Spent a lot of time up on top of that knob. One more down shot. I'm not going to get a good look at the rocks up there with no with tree cover. So head straight back this way. And the clearing there is where I am. And fly over that and up the driveway. And there you are, going out. I see the moon out. Maybe I'll try to get a shot through that. Hopefully nobody shoots it down. Now the houses you see down here, when I was a kid, those were not here. We were the only people living back in this part of the road. Our driveway, Swift Lane it's called, because our name is Swift. So the nearest neighbor was over that hill there, about where that clearing is. Maybe a little further up the road there. So I'm going to swing around and come back. Yep, we used to travel all over with ride horses, bicycles, mini bike, walk. And swing back, and there's our driveway. I had to walk that every morning to go to school. So we'll test it out. I don't see any interference at all with the drone from this microphone system, which I'm very pleased, because the Cinco was a real problem. I have a set of Chinese T&Ws in the Philippines that were just as bad. One problem I was having in the Philippines though is, get this down here. There's a cell tower close to me, and I think maybe that might be interfering with my Phantom 4 Pro, or it's the Phantom 4 Advance. And that's the one I've had the most problem with interference with. This one I've never really got to test. So let's get this hand landed. Down a little more. So there you go. It worked good with the drone. No problems at all interfering with my drone. I'm really happy about that. The Cincos did give me a lot of trouble. Like I said, I didn't really get to test this one out as much with it. But I know the Phantom 4 Advance 2.4 gigahertz, it really messed with that. So I'm assuming that I'll have to get them out. I have a set of Cincos in Michigan. When I get up there next week, I'll give those a try and see what happens. And if there's a problem, I might make another video on those. So, I do have videos on my American channel about the interference. When I was out flying, had discovered the interference. So, if you want, I can put a link. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the video. So, really happy, no problems there. If these are good sound, if they work as good as they did 2 days ago, I'm very happy. Because I've heard a lot of good things with these. People are comparing them to like DJI and Rode, which are way more expensive. I can't afford that. I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't get money for this, so I just do it as a hobby. So I will put some pictures in at the end of the video here with some, maybe a little music or something. I'm not going to do a voiceover for it because right now I'm not near my I don't have a studio here, so I'll just throw them in, maybe a little bit of music and tag what they are, which camera, and you can have a look at them. I hope you enjoyed these pictures. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think about the sound test, which camera takes the best pictures. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.